Hi folks, welcome to the Sabre Zone. This is a video on this channel that always discusses what you had to say, how you said it, in case you're new and you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you guys another clip. You guys are keeping me busy tonight, which is good because my head's all over the place. I've been working on this other channel and I'm going a little bonkers with that. And I want to get back into my Sabres content. All right, folks, here is the clip. Shout out goes to Thirst Responder. The pool is so deep, you need scuba gear. Seriously, we have a bright future indeed. And TR is talking the truth, eh? I think we've talked about this all summer. My goodness, you know, those first rounders really put the Sabres over the top. ATR, I mean, it really put the Sabres over the top, I think, as above and beyond the best prospects in the entire league. I don't think anybody comes close to Buffalo right now in prospects. They just don't. And that's already just after a few years under Adams. And let's keep in mind, yes, he did get first rounders out of this, right? Because he traded away Sam, he traded away Jack, and he traded away Risto. But everybody on God's green earth that's a Sabres fan was all telling me that we'd never get a first rounder for Risto. So we got a first rounder for Risto, so we did good there. Then we got a first rounder for Sam, and we got this kid named Devin Levi, who seems to be pretty good, you know? He seems to be pretty good. If he's going to be anything Devin Levi like he was on Team Canada in that run a few years ago, my goodness, do we got something special there. And then with trading away Jack, of course we were going to get a return, but we got to keep in mind we traded him injured, right? And we still got back a first rounder. We got back, Tuck, another first rounder, and Krebs, another first rounder. And we were looking for 4 first-round pieces. We managed to get 3. It's not bad, guys. It's really, really not bad at all. Not bad at all. So altogether, you know, he's done a great job, Adams. And this is under a lot of pressure, under a fire in front of a Buffalo nation that is going crazy, fed up with losing. I mean, let's face it, the Sabres faithful are fed up. They're all fed up, and they want something to happen now. They don't want something to happen like in 2 years from now, but you know what? I think when this is all said and done in about 2 years from now, I think we're going to be in good shape. And folks, we might be this October a big surprise. We might be. I'm not saying we will, but we might be. We might be a big surprise this year. The potential is there, right? I think all of you would agree with that. The potential to have a real surprisingly good season is right in front of our eyes because we've seen the way the team closed. And guys, I preached that before we did the close when I made that video last year talking about how I think we could win 30 games and you all thought I was stoned on something, and we wound up winning 32. And not to toot my own horn, but the point I'm trying to make is when you can finish that good, that solid down the stretch, that's always a telltale sign of things to come in the future. It always is. There's telltale signs, guys. When a team goes into the playoffs that's not supposed to do anything and they win, I would say like 7 playoff games, that's usually, for me, it becomes a deep run. Right when you're 1 win away from the Final Four, you've had a good run if you weren't supposed to do nothing. And if the Sabres got in this year, that's a big if they get in this year, the potential's there for a lot of damage to be done because they're going to be loose, they're going to be feeling good, they're going to be feeling free, and they're going to be feeling fearless. This is going to be a fearless bunch. This team last year, guys, I believe, last year, if we would have played Tampa Bay in a series, I believe we could have forced them to a Game 7 with that squad we had last year. Yeah. Because it's not always about the talent on the ice. You know, so many fans that just don't see the other side of it. They see only talent, don't get that sometimes. Sometimes it's not always about who's the most gifted team. It's the team that's the most hungry, the team that's the most desperate, the team that's the most vicious going into the series. And I really do believe if the Sabres can pull up their socks this year, get into the playoffs. And, they're going to be held to stop. They're not just going to be one of those teams, guys, I believe, that's going to go out and lose 4 straight in the first round. I'd be shocked if that happened. I would be. I don't care who we play and when or how. I could care less if it's Colorado in the first round. I know they're not in our conference, but you know what I mean? I could care less, because I think when you got a young upstart team, so many special things can happen. I remember, I think it was the Whalers of 83. Or was it 83 or 84? Might have been 84, 82, 83, 83, 84, 84. And the Whalers that year, I believe it was 84. I'm betting 90% I'm right. That year, they came out of nowhere, the Whalers, and they went right to Game 7 before Montreal took them out in double overtime in the second round. And they beat out, I believe it was Quebec in the first round. I believe they swept Quebec, if I'm right. But again, that's my memory from 40 years ago, so it's hard to remember exactly. The Sabres of 83 come to mind. There's teams, there's upstart teams. The Canucks just a few years ago in the bubble, you might recall, were 1 win from the Final Four. And then they lost their goalie, and Demko came in, and Demko was stellar for 2 games. And that's what sold me on Demko right there. A lot of weird things can happen, guys. Look at the year that Tampa Bay set a club record. What was it, 60-something wins, right? Or 61 wins, whatever it was. And then they get swept by the Blue Jackets, 4 straight, gone. Just gone. Just like that, gone. And this is what can happen come playoff team. Nobody is, in this day and age, what I love about the game now, this is one thing I love about the parity in the league now, is that nobody in this era is safe. Nobody. Colorado's not safe to repeat now. They're not safe. I think the odds are they will, but they're not safe. They could lose the first round if they're not playing well. Injuries, goalie pulls his groin, all sorts of things can happen, right? All sorts of things. And this is why, like, if the Sabres get into the playoffs, and if they get in healthy, and they get in rolling, and they get in with good goaltending, which we're going to talk about next video, they get in with a good goaltending, all of a sudden, I'll have to have a cage put around you guys. You guys are going to be going nuts, because this is going to be for real. What's going to go down. And the Sabres are not just going to go away quietly in the first round. I don't believe they will. I just don't. I think if they get in, and they get in healthy, it's going to be really, really hard to put them down. And I'm not saying they'll win the cup, but after all the humiliation and all that losing and that 18-game losing streak and all that stuff, that comes back into fruition in that series. That's what happens right there. And that's what I'm hoping that we're going to see, because if we can just get into the playoffs this year, guys, there's no pressure, and that's bad news for that's bad news for everybody else when they run into us, because this is going to be a gung-ho team that is ready, I believe, just to make noise and make trouble and make chaos for everybody they can, just like we did down the stretch. It's going to be the same thing, except now it's in a 2-week segment against one team. And I would love to see what this Sabres team is about in a 2-week war with one team. Like we seen with Toronto, right? What they did with them last year, where they continued to beat them all of a sudden. And then when we went into the Heritage game, I wasn't sure what to expect, guys. I just wanted the Sabres to compete, right? And the Sabres won that game convincingly by the time it was all said and done. I think there's a lot of things that can go right if we get in. Now, this is not the year to be thinking that, but why not? It depends all on the start. We start something like 8-1-1, all of a sudden, we're going to be talking. There's be Sabres fans, and all those fans that picked on us, oh, yeah, they're going to be coming over, and they're going to be saying, I'm really happy for you guys, go Sabres. That's the next thing that we're going to have to, adopt the trolls and give them home, a temporary home, before the Sabres collapse or fizzle out, or something bad happens and they're gone to the next team. Oh my goodness, guys. So yeah, that was a good topic. I am definitely looking forward to this year, Thirst Responder. And I was there was something I wanted to check, but you know what, it's going to take too long. So our prospect pool, absolutely is the bonus to all this. It's the bonus to all this. The Sabres not only have a good prospect pool, they have a team that's on the rise without those prospects that are in the minors right now. Imagine when these kids get older. This is going to be a scary team in a few years, guys. In a few years. This year, though, I'd just love to be able to get in and just cause some damage. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave it there, or I'm going to talk all night. Okay, that's it. I'll see you folks in the next video.